Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we will continue with the story of the Master Race. As with all the series on this channel, you can find the sequence and all the videos in the playlist. She doesn't understand it, and honestly, I'm not helping her to understand. It's hard to say. I've gotten slow. I'm a burden. So I tell her, "Dear, the fire has gone out." She refuses to believe it, and once again, she's right. The fire is there, but the body is worthless. I've become slower than before. I can barely walk. I'm not only a burden, I'm a noose. If we went out on patrol together, I'd get her killed because she'd be more worried about me than about the mission. All these words are hard to admit for a man like me. So instead, a fire goes out. We start with the old Bruce Wayne, who, after rescuing Kelly from the police, we hear him say these words, "You did well, girl. She'll be better at this than I ever was, smarter than me." The news broadcasts an unconfirmed report. They have Moscow and Indonesia in flames. Thousands of deaths at the reunion the Pentagon has issued. It's hard to know what we can think of this. The president has yet to respond. Who is behind these global attacks? Bruce Wayne is about to retire. With me, it was all about bruises. She is Grace, a damn dancer. I wanted to strike. I thought it would scare them. Probably too many punches put that thought in my head. She likes to make them miss. She can handle it, sure. But that's not her style. She wants them to know she thinks faster than they do. And she does, which is terrifying. But is she faster than a hail of bullets? Bruce Wayne stands in front of the monitors and starts watching the news. Cities worldwide are burning in flames. People flying are attacking these cities. Kelly wakes him up, standing behind Bruce Wayne. She asks what all this means. Could it be that Bruce Wayne is no longer dead? Bruce still doesn't know what it means. But this kind of horror is always claimed by someone. That someone appears on the screen with a message for Earth. Everyone must know that Earth is finished. This is the end of their oppression. Their chains, those chains will disappear. They must kneel before them. And with that, they can be saved. This is Core from Krypton. Once, a planet of decadence dedicated to science that paid attention to its impulses while ignoring the fire that burned it from within. It burned until its shell couldn't contain what was underneath and exploded outwards and across countless solar systems. Like a dandelion seed floating through space, across time, across the universe, to find its grip with you, people of Earth. The Kryptonians have flourished. Their 7 children must approach. They must be destiny. The children thank their father, and now they take a pill. Can they feel it? The fire. The Kryptonian fire. One of the boys falls, not without telling him that he's sorry and loves him. Core tells him that he has to know what he knows, and what he will always know. The boy falls in free fall towards the city of Moscow, and after falling, we see a great explosion as if it were a human bomb. From the Batcave, Kelly and Batman can only watch all of this. Core continues, "You can see what burns within my children. There are those among you who might call it a bomb. And you'd be right, but you wouldn't be fair. They will spread your fear, but not the purifying fire that now burns within them. They will destroy themselves to save you. The people of Earth must kneel before their new gods. They must worship them. It's the only thing they ask in return. If they do, they may keep their lives. They will be their gods and demand a planet that accepts them as such. They give you 3 days to consider this situation. If they, your new gods, are loved, you may be saved." In the Batcave, Batman realizes the gravity of the situation. They truly can't do anything alone. There is only one person in this world who can help them. If you want to beat a Kryptonian, you'll need the help of another Kryptonian. As we see Batman and Kelly in the Arctic, the news continues. Hundreds of thousands of pilgrims have flooded the Vatican City, claiming their new gods. Batman's destiny has ended, and now we find ourselves in the Fortress of Solitude. Outside lies the key. But this time, Batman won't have to use it to enter. They both enter, and we see Superman frozen. Batman says he surrendered. Does Kelly want to know what he's doing here? Frozen? He surrendered 3 years ago after they almost destroyed the planet. The victor writes history. We pushed it to the limit. Kelly has to step back so Bruce Wayne can free his friend. Using a hammer, he gives a hard blow to the ice to break it. The blow was hard, but not enough to break all the ice. Bruce asks his friend to get up. The time for slacking off is over. He knows he can hear him, probably watching him through his eyelids with that X-ray vision. Well, then he has to take a long look. He's broken. The planet is. He can't do this anymore. It will kill him. The world needs him. Those words kill Bruce too. Kelly stands in front of him. They're wasting their time with Superman. His people are about to enslave the Earth. If he's not going to do anything, then they must leave. Kelly was walking towards the exit when suddenly, noises start to be heard. These noises are from the ice breaking, and we see Superman wake up. The Man of Steel asks what she means by his people. In different places on Earth, the Kryptonians continue tormenting citizens from the skies. Bruce and Kelly are in a bowing. Bruce tells her he knows what she did with Clark. She says she did nothing. It just happened. Bruce knows she won't take the credit. She didn't learn that from him. Bruce senses it, the instinctive tension of fear down there stretching for miles. Is it the old or not? It took them long enough. People on the planet keep asking the following. Will they worship their gods or their new gods? If they want to find salvation and keep living, it's better to worship Core. Meanwhile, from above, Lara, Superman's daughter, was watching it all. Val arrives behind her and asks if she isn't afraid. Lara says no. All she has is curiosity, not fear. Core arrives and tells her that his son wasn't talking about Candor, but herself. Val confirms it. All this is about her. Could it be that he fears himself? For a long time, he stuck to the rules because he's afraid of not doing so. But there should never be anything that prevents her from doing what she wants. The rules of the Earthlings and her parents don't have to matter because she's above them. Isn't that right? Meanwhile, elsewhere, Superman has been watching everything. With great helplessness from doing nothing to prevent this situation. He kneels and, with red eyes, we see him cry. In another part, world leaders analyze the situation. This isn't something they can take lightly, though it's not something they can discuss for long either. There are riots in the streets, and many people are dying. People are rioting because they feel threatened. Although others have a completely different opinion, riots are happening because people fear they can't be people anymore. Undoubtedly, all this is madness. Well, if people are no longer people, then what are they? Generally, enemies? For Bruce Wayne, all this is straightforward. When you reach a certain age, you know how false bosses will react before they do. Their backs are against the wall, and they're eager to keep their position. Do you know what that means? They fight or send people to do it for them. The attacks are about to be launched. The news announces that the leaders have come to nothing, and they call this an inevitable cataclysmic scenario, a very real possibility of global redemption. The meeting of world leaders is interrupted by Core, who tells them he's given them 3 days to think of a response. So then, what is their answer? Out of nowhere, the monitors turn off and back on. This time we see Batman has returned. He tells them to go to hell. If he thinks the world will kneel before them, he is very wrong, because Batman's secret weapon has arrived. Core is surprised by this situation. Someone else arrives. You heard, Batman. You need to go to hell. Superman, the Man of Steel, is here. Core heard it and would gladly spend thousands of eternities in thousands of hells rather than one more day in a crystal cage. But if he thinks he's going to surrender, he's very mistaken. Kal-El of Krypton must be punished. If Superman thought it would be easy against the Kryptonians, he was wrong too. His daughter, Lara, has arrived and tells him he's a traitor to their race. He tells Lara she's making a terrible mistake. This world needs protection, not to be attacked. To the Kryptonian core, these words sound very paternal. Lara agrees with those words. This world is beautiful, fertile, and primitive, but the ants that rule it are destroying it. If this is our home, how can we allow that? Or should I say, why does Superman allow people to destroy themselves? The Man of Steel tells them he refuses to place himself above humanity. Now he extends his hand to his daughter. She has to come back with him. Unfortunately for Superman, Lara doesn't plan to return with him. She even attacks him using her heat vision. The attack is so strong that it sends him flying far away, crashing into a tower. Core asks if she can see him for what he really is. Lara tells her father it's time for him to make a choice. Will he join her or continue to defend Earth? Superman recovers from that attack, but refuses to fight his daughter. He won't return those blows. Well, if he doesn't want to fight, that's his problem, because Lara will keep doing so. The Kryptonian's daughter delivers another hard blow that again sends him flying far away. If Superman just chose his people, Lara has chosen hers too. For some reason, Lara keeps insisting that her father join her, but the other Kryptonians arrive and stand behind her. He has to see that he has already made his choice. Meanwhile, in the Batcave, Batman is watching these events. Standing in front of the monitors, he can only watch as Superman is beaten. Kelly tells him that this is enough. They can't let this keep happening. Batman tells her they can't stop it. Only one person can, and apparently, he won't. Kelly asks if they're going to sit here and watch. Batman says no, and to get back in action, she needs to bring him a chair. For a while, she kept hitting him relentlessly. Not only could Batman do nothing, but neither could the government. The fight was being broadcasted to the whole world. All this beating was so unnecessary, merciless. This went on for hours and hours. She just kept hitting him, and Batman, well, kept watching. After several hours, the battle reached the top of the world, precisely to Superman's Fortress of Solitude. In the Arctic, more Kryptonians arrived to invade this place. Core, the Kryptonian leader, gave Earth a message. Behold your champion, your Superman. Krypton must behold its last son. While they kept him imprisoned in a bottle, he had the audacity to present himself as the last survivor of a dead planet. Not only did he hide the existence of these Kryptonians, but he also denied that they continued to exist. Kal-El is just an embarrassment to Jor-El. Now he can barely stand. He is now accused of treason, a word that doesn't even begin to describe what he has done to his people, the last of his kind. How does Superman plead? The Man of Steel just tells his daughter to stop. She's too young, and she doesn't understand. Core says, of course, from a position of authority. In Krypton, how does it find him? All the Kryptonians there declare him guilty. If that's what they proclaim, then so be it. Core throws black liquid at Superman, which starts to engulf him. Clark was totally hurt from the beating his daughter gave him. He can't move. Seconds have passed, and Superman is trapped. He will be trapped for eternity. From the Batcave, Kelly mentions that all of this is dark matter. To Batman, that's theoretical science. Though theoretically, that's how it works, this won't just be the end of Superman, but also his fortress. Core says goodbye to Kal-El, not of Krypton, but of Earth. All the Kryptonians unite to destroy the fortress. All the ice now turns to water. Superman just sinks into the depths. Once they melted the Fortress of Solitude, they now unite to use their freezing breath to trap Superman even deeper, turning the water into ice. Core and his followers leave. They have more important matters to attend to, like the citizens of Gotham City. They understand how precious life is. Core believes there is goodness in all of them, and he'd love for them to show it. They must hand over their son, the infidel, the outlaw, the Bat. They must bring him Batman, or one of Krypton's sons will purge them from the Earth. In 36 hours, if Batman isn't begging for his life, he promises that their failure will end with everyone's failure. Now, people of Earth, before you were interrupted, you asked for an answer. Meanwhile, we're with Wonder Woman. They made a decision. She disagrees with it, nor does she agree with her love or her daughters. But humanity collectively made a choice, and they will abide by it. Bruce, however, cannot, because if he disagrees with something, then something must be wrong. Batman has been trying to communicate with her, but Wonder Woman ignores his calls. Batman's stubbornness will be his end. Only 12 hours remain. 12 hours before the greatest city on Earth is reduced to a furious mob with pitchforks and torches. $1 million turbine in 12 hours. This is incredible. Meanwhile, in Gotham City, citizens are outside the police station. People want them to hand Batman over. They want him dead. Inside the station, the commissioner says she's actually being generous. About 7.5 hours ago, the network went down, and they were left in the dark. Fortunately, The precinct has a backup generator, and she went to the liquor store before work. When the satellites went offline, she understood what was at stake. That's why she's talking to a piece of machinery from 30 years ago. She wants someone to know that this stinks, that humanity stinks, and that the Gotham department is useless. In fact, they have been for years. It only took the last 12 hours for Gotham to realize it. We return to the Batcave, where Kelly is injecting something into Batman's knees. Batman lets out a small cry. That cry is because it's good not to feel pain anymore. Now he asks Kelly if she's heard anything about the Bat Boys. Kelly tells him that she hasn't heard anything for a couple of hours. Bruce tells her he needs her to go on a mission out there. Kelly says that's what they're doing. Once they go out, it'll be just the two of them against the world. Batman gives a slight smile. Smiling without the mask is a bit difficult, as if he were betraying himself. Kelly tells him it's the world against you and me, as it would be putting too much emphasis on it. Before she leaves, Bruce hands her a small box. It's hope, and she can take it as a graduation gift. Meanwhile, the news reports the following. As we can see from their perspective, Gotham is engulfed in chaos. Above, there's a ring of Kryptonians flying. Someone mentions that the supreme rulers have Gotham locked down until they hand over the bat. So, that's what they'll do. Trump says that this guy needs to spare the world a lot of pain. Enough of all this. It's every man for himself now. Someone new arrives and says he's wrong, but there are very few like them left. Very few heroes, super or not. People willing to fight the big fight instead of settling for their terms. People who understand that nothing comes easy. People who realize that if you yield an inch, they'll take the world. People willing to face anything. Someone was running at great speed when he's suddenly intercepted and has his leg broken. Even before Flash could join the battle, he's attacked and taken out of it. The blow he suffered was so strong that it didn't just break one leg, but both. Now we see him lying on the ground, unable to run. We're back with the Commissioner. From up here, they all look like ants, venomous fire ants, but ants nonetheless. On the ground, they seemed like her family. Unpleasant, but she used to think so. She saw them as worthy of dedicating her life to protect. That's true. Maybe they were needy, but she saw the need and responded. Batman steps up behind her and asks her to stop drowning her. Meanwhile, we're with Professor Palmer, who is still falling. Nothing around me but space. A void growing alongside my shattered dreams. But wait, he now realizes that he can fix all this. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.